9. Mental barriers, blocking and protecting the psyche. The need to protect the mind. In the vast landscape of the mind, there is a multiplicity of experiences, many of which can be profoundly influenced by our surroundings and the people we interact with. These influences can be both positive and negative. Just as we protect our bodies from the elements and external dangers, it's vital we recognize the importance of protecting our minds from potentially harmful influences. Let's think of Marco, a young adult who works in a toxic work environment. He is constantly surrounded by negativity, gossip, and criticism. Every day he comes home exhausted, feeling dejected and demoralized. In this context, Marco's mind is like a sponge, unconsciously absorbing the negative energy of his environment, affecting his mood, thoughts, and emotions. Or consider Sophia, a college student who is in a toxic relationship. Her partner constantly criticizes her, undermining her self-esteem. Whenever she tries to express her feelings or concerns, she is shushed or ridiculed. Sophia begins to doubt herself and her perceptions. This is an example of how external influences can alter our internal reality, creating mental barriers that prevent a clear understanding of ourselves and the world around us. In both examples, outside influences had a direct impact on the mental and emotional well-being of the protagonists. These are just two of many scenarios where the mind can be affected by external forces, underlining the importance of having tools and techniques to protect our psyche. But how can we protect the mind? And what are the mental barriers that can protect against negativity? The good news is that there are numerous techniques and practices that can help protect and strengthen the mind. One of the most fundamental practices is centering, a process by which we ground ourselves in the present, stabilizing our energy and attention. Centering helps us stay grounded, even in the midst of a storm. This technique, along with others, can be a powerful ally in protecting the mind from external influences. But protecting the mind isn't just about blocking or repelling negative influences. It also means opening your mind to positive influences, allowing wisdom, love, and understanding to flow freely. The protected mind is a balanced mind, capable of discernment and resilience. In the next section, we will delve deeper into exploring grounding techniques, essential tools for stabilizing and protecting the psyche. These techniques offer concrete ways to stay grounded in reality, especially when faced with stressful or overwhelming situations. Through simple but powerful practices, we will learn how to enhance our ability to protect and strengthen our mind in any situation. Grounding and centering techniques. Within the vast universe of the psyche, stabilization and balance are paramount. The ability to stay centered, especially in the face of emotional storms or external conflicts, is an art that can be cultivated through specific techniques. These techniques not only help maintain internal balance, but also serve as the first steps in creating protective barriers for the mind. One of the simplest yet powerfully effective techniques is the practice of grounding. Imagine yourself as a tree with deep roots extending into the ground. These roots anchor you, providing you with stability and nourishment. In times of stress or anxiety, imagine these roots growing from the bottoms of your feet, digging deep into the earth. Feeling the energy of the earth rising through you, helping you stay grounded and centered. Another effective method is of mindful breathing. In times of turmoil, our breathing can become shallow. Taking a moment to focus on your breathing, inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly, can help calm your mind. For example, Julia, a successful manager, uses this technique before every important meeting. He takes 5 minutes to focus on his breathing, allowing himself to come back to the present and push away any distractions. Finally, visualization is another powerful centering tool. This may include imagining a safe or serene place, such as a beach or mountain, and visualizing yourself there. Or, it may mean visualizing a bright energy field around you, which serves as a buffer against outside energies. Federico, for example, uses this technique during his daily subway journeys, imagining a field of golden light that surrounds him, keeping him protected from the energies of the commuters around him. These techniques, while simple, can have profound effects. With regular practice, they become second nature, helping you navigate life's challenges with greater balance and resilience. But besides these techniques, there are other ways to actively protect the psyche from external influences. Once we have honed our centering skills, we can move on to more advanced methods of energy protection. In the next section, we'll explore the concept of a shielding, or creating energy shields, and how these can serve as fortified barriers to our minds, protecting us from unwanted influences. Shielding, create energy shields. In the vast landscape of the human psyche, both good and bad forces exist. Just as you would put on a jacket to protect yourself from the cold or wear a mask to protect your eyes, it's just as important to create energy barriers to protect your mind and spirit from potentially harmful influences. These barriers, known as energy shields, can be visualized as force fields around us, ready to repel any negative energy. A common way to create an energy shield is through visualization. Imagine a field of bright light, any color that feels protective, enveloping you completely. This field of light can take any shape you want: a wall, a sphere, a pyramid, or any other shape that inspires you for protection. For example, Marta, a therapist, always visualizes a bubble of purple light around her before starting a session with a patient. This allows her to remain empathetic and open, but at the same time protected from any heavy energies of her interlocutor. Another technique involves the use of the breath. Breathing deeply, imagine yourself inhaling pure, positive energy, and as you exhale, visualize any tension or negativity draining away from you. With each breath, feel your shield growing stronger and more resilient. Using symbols can also enhance the strength of the shield. Some people use religious or spiritual symbols, such as crosses, pentacles, or mantras. These symbols, when viewed or recited with intention, can strengthen the energy barrier you have created. For example, Stefano, a yoga teacher, visualizes the heart chakra symbol at the center of his energy bubble, reinforcing his connection to love and compassion during his classes. It's important to remember that, like any skill, creating energy shields takes practice. It may not be immediately effective the first time, but with dedication and commitment, it can become a powerful tool in your psychic toolbox. Of course, knowing how to protect yourself is only half the battle. It is equally crucial to be able to recognize when and where negative influences are coming from. In the next segment, we will delve into the various forms of negative energy, how they can manifest and how they can be identified, thus providing a clear understanding of the threats we are protecting ourselves from. Negative influences and how to recognize them. Across the vast spectrum of human interactions and everyday experiences, we come across a myriad of energies, some of which can negatively impact our psyches. Understanding where these influences come from and how to recognize them is the first step in protecting our mental and emotional integrity. Often, negative energies can come from people or situations that we encounter in our daily lives. Let's think of Claudia, who every day in the workplace finds herself dealing with a particularly negative colleague. Her every intervention is pervaded by pessimism and cynicism, and this energy has also begun to influence Claudia's mood and optimism. Even specific environments can emanate negative energies. For example, places where traumatic or violent events have occurred, such as ancient battlefields or abandoned buildings, can carry a residue of heavy energies. Marco, an urban exploration enthusiast, recounted how in some old abandoned structures he perceived a feeling of malaise or oppression, even though he knew nothing of the history of the place. Modern technology, while an incredibly useful tool, can also become a source of negative influences. Constant exposure to social media, for example, can lead to constant comparisons with others, fueling insecurities and feelings of inadequacy. But how can we recognize these influences? Much depends on our sensitivity and self-observation skills. Symptoms such as anxiety for no apparent reason, irritability, a feeling of heaviness or tiredness can be indications of the presence of negative energies. It's important to pay attention to your emotional reactions. If we enter a place or interact with a person and suddenly feel drained or oppressed, it could be a sign that we need to protect our energy. In addition to externally perceived energies, we must also beware of self-generated negative influences. Limiting thoughts and beliefs, old unresolved traumas, or feelings of guilt can create pockets of negative energy within our psyche, affecting our well-being and our perception of the world. Having the tools to recognize these influences is crucial, but what's equally crucial is knowing how to deal with them and get rid of them. In the following segment, we will explore methods and techniques for releasing these unwanted energies and regaining balance and harmony in our inner lives. Address and release unwanted energies. Dealing with unwanted energies can often feel like a challenge, especially when they seem deeply ingrained in our psyches. However, armed with the right techniques and strategies, we can restore balance and cleanse our energy. One of the most effective approaches is mindfulness. Take for example Elena, who found that she was constantly exhausted after spending time with a certain group of friends. Through self-observation, she identified that some of these friends were particularly critical or negative, draining her energy. By acknowledging the source of her discomfort, Elena was able to set boundaries, choosing to spend less time with those people and to surround herself with more positive influences. Another powerful technique is visualization. Imagining yourself surrounded by a bubble of white light or a protective shield can help block out unwanted external energies. Roberto, who lives in a noisy and crowded neighborhood, uses this technique every morning, visualizing an energy field around him that repels negative external influences, allowing him to remain calm even in the most chaotic situations. Nature also offers a precious refuge. Spending time outdoors, in contact with elements such as trees, water, or earth, can have a purifying effect. Walking barefoot on grass or sand, for example, can help discharge accumulated negative energy, reconnecting us with the energy of the earth. Conscious breathing is another powerful tool. When we feel overwhelmed by unwanted energies, focusing on the breath and practicing deep breathing exercises can help us center ourselves and release any tension or stress. However, it's important to remember that sometimes, the source of unwanted energies can be internal, such as old traumas or limiting beliefs. In these cases, it can be helpful to seek the help of a professional, such as a therapist or counselor, to work through these deeper issues and find resolution. The art of dealing with and releasing unwanted energies takes practice and awareness, but with time and dedication, it can become a natural part of our self-healing routine. In the next segment, we will explore one of the oldest and most powerful techniques to protect and cleanse the psyche: meditation. Meditation as a tool of protection. Since time immemorial, the act of meditating has been considered a sacred and therapeutic practice, capable of offering refuge from the onslaught of external stimuli and contributing to the creation of a safe internal place. This ritual, which may seem simple to many, actually has profound implications for protecting our psyche. The mind is like a fertile field, ready to receive any kind of seed. External influences, positive or negative, have the power to take root in this soil, influencing our thoughts, emotions, and, consequently, actions. Meditation, practiced regularly, acts like a filter, allowing us to discern what we wish to welcome from what we intend to keep away. Lorenzo, for example, lived in a big city and found himself constantly exposed to a myriad of stimuli, noises, discussions, alarming news. He felt the need to protect himself. He began a daily meditation practice, focusing on his breath and visualizing a pure light enveloping and protecting his body and mind. This ritual became his daily armor, a time when he could cleanse his psyche of everything that disturbed him. Another example is Chiara, a therapist who works with clients who bring with them stories of trauma and suffering. To avoid absorbing her patients' emotional energies, Chiara developed a meditative practice to clean one's energy at the end of each day. This practice allows her to maintain a healthy emotional distance, protecting her psyche and, at the same time, guaranteeing her professional commitment. In addition to protection, meditation also offers deep self-understanding. During meditation, thoughts and feelings emerge that, in the rush of daily life, might go unnoticed. With practice, a greater awareness of one's emotional reactions develops, making it easier to identify and push away negative influences before they have an opportunity to take root. But, like any tool, meditation requires commitment and practice. It's not just about sitting in silence, it is an art that requires dedication, discipline, and, above all, patience. And, just like any art, it brings with it profound transformation and enrichment for those who sincerely practice it. Despite the numerous testimonials and research that attest to its benefits, meditation is not the only tool at our disposal to protect our psyche. The natural world offers incredible, often overlooked resources that can amplify our ability to protect. In the next segment, we will delve into the fascinating world of stones and crystals and discover how these gifts of the earth can become powerful allies in our mission of energy protection and purification. Protective stones and crystals. The charm and magic of stones and crystals have crossed centuries and cultures, maintaining a constant presence in the spiritual and therapeutic traditions of many societies. Beyond their indisputable aesthetic beauty, these minerals have long been prized for their energetic qualities and their ability to act as bulwarks against negative influences, helping to protect and strengthen the psyche. Each stone and crystal has a unique vibration, determined by its composition, shape, color, and geological origin. These vibrations can resonate with an individual's personal energy, amplifying certain qualities or helping to neutralize energy disturbances. Each stone has a distinctive energetic resonance that can align with your personal energy, amplifying your positive qualities and neutralizing negativity. If you want to fortify your mind, don't miss the next episodes. Click on like, subscribe to our channel, and activate notifications. Your participation helps us grow and always bring you new content. Thanks for being part of this community.